So, what food perfectly represents my personality? And why isn't it a salad?
Hot tamales.
Hey, we're Jess,
And Erin.
just two normal moms and saved women who love Jesus, deep conversations, and a good laugh.
On Well Within Her, we talk about the hard, the holy, and the hilarious parts of being a woman in today's world.
This is just your space to exhale, to stop striving and start living aligned with the truth.
Because the truth is, when Christ is within her, she already has everything she needs.
We're so glad you're here. Hit subscribe and come hang out with us every week.
The candy or the real hot tamales, or the candy hot tamales?
The candy. That's the first thing that came to my head, and I could not tell you why.
I hate cinnamon, so
I mean, I feel like you're spicy.
that's valid.
You're the more outspoken,
Yes.
loud.
Yes.
It's got that red dye 40 in it. It's just bright.
I really want to know why my
You're so vibrant.
personality-
And I've become a baker now, and so when I'm making icing, I have
Yes.
the
So it
non-dye.
just looks very pastel-y.
It's very pastel. It's pink. It's not red.
It's
so
not
I
red.
see why we have red dye 40, because it is hard
to make things
to make
bright.
bright red, and I just feel like you're just so vibrant. Hot tamales, the candy.
Okay, so for
If
me,
you tell me white bread, I'm gonna be real offended.
No, for me, this is actually a twofold thing. It
Get ready, everybody, for this.
I was gonna go with quinoa, but now that when you said because I originally was gonna say a salad, because I mean that's you, like in a nutshell, that's you. But if I had to pick one food, because I'm like, quinoa is so versatile. It's chock full of protein. It has fiber.
It's real boring if you don't put flavor into it.
I mean, that's not true. You are not boring at all. But I'm thinking of the versatility and just you in a picture of a nutshell. Quinoa.
Okay.
I was going to say the meal was going to be the Mediterranean bowls, which
I
is
was
funny.
thinking you were gonna say Mediterranean
Because one,
meatballs.
you've made it for us. And two, that's just you. That's if I could pick a go-to meal, that's
It's
you.
true. It is true.
The vegetables, the slaw, the hummus, the tzatziki, that's just
It's
you.
flavorful.
Yes,
Okay.
it hits
Okay.
all the marks.
Okay,
All the marks.
I'll take it.
Hot tamales.
I'm just gonna go with whatever pops in my head first. That's my and you've had time to reflect a little bit on questions.
Yes.
So you've had more thought.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I only read the first one, so
Okay.
I don't know if I like any of these.
I mean, you go to a different category if you want to just
Okay.
do one from that category.
Okay.
Do you want to do that? Let's be honest.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my gosh, these are all so good. These are so
Okay,
good.
we'll just do one and then we'll get into the episode.
Okay. What is my most likely cause of death if I was in a sitcom?
Oh. If you were in a sitcom. This isn't it, but the first thing that comes to mind, did you ever watch Seinfeld?
I've seen a good amount of clips of
My
it.
dad and brother are obsessed with Seinfeld. And
Okay.
so we watched a lot of it growing up. But there's a one lady in that episode, George Costanza's fiance dies because she's licking the envelopes for their wedding invitations and they're poisoned. And that's how she dies, is from licking the envelopes.
Fun fact, I refuse to lick envelopes.
Really?
I will never.
Why?
One, they're disgusting. Ew. It is
it doesn't taste good.
It is a toxic trait. Also, have you ever paper cutted yourself by doing that?
I don't know.
Yes. So when I send out Christmas cards, I make Brandon handle the enveloping. I refuse. So I also will use baby wipes. I will toxic trait. I will never lick an envelope.
I do like a sticker when I close our Christmas cards.
Yes, I don't lick envelopes.
Okay.
So that's
So it definitely wouldn't be that one. Okay, death by sitcom.
death by, yes.
Oh man, what happens in sitcoms? Funny stuff. Oh, because it would be ironic.
Yes.
And also ironic to this episode, like a deer would run into you and you'd be impaled by a buck. That's how you would die in a sitcom.
That's valid.
Right? It's like
that's
if we had a TV show, that's how I'd off you.
That's valid. I like that. For you, death by sitcom. I gotta think about
it's hard.
this.
It's hard. It's like a weird question to think about.
This is gonna be mean, and don't hate me. You would be attacked by a cat.
I can see it.
You death by a feline.
Death by feline. Okay. I'll take it. She'd scratch me. I'd have a reaction to some bacteria in her nail.
You know, cat scratch. There's
Is
like cat scratch fever. Yes, something.
Yeah.
Death by feline.
Funny story, cat scratch fever. My son was actually tested for cat scratch
He
fever.
was?
Like, it's a bacteria, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was 18 months old, he got hospitalized for a knee infection. Like, it was in his bone.
Oh.
And they couldn't figure out like what it was. That he just stopped walking. He was dragging his leg behind him,
wow.
and he'd been really doing great walking. And so one of the things they tested and they asked about was like, has he been around any kittens
Yeah.
or anything? And we were like, no. Like, I think there was one cat he was exposed to, but that was like one of the things that they looked into was
Yeah.
cat scratch fever. And I was like, this is real?
Yes, it's legit. It's not just a song. It's legit.
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't have it. But
No. Okay. Well, that's good.
yeah.
That's good.
All right.
Welcome.
To the podcast.
Welcome back to Well Within Her. And gosh, we're so excited you're here.
We have so much to catch up on.
Yes.
So much has happened. Like we said previously, we batch record. So it's been a couple weeks since we've been in the studio, and a lot of stuff has happened in our lives.
A lot has happened, and a lot of answered prayers, a lot of us working through life and remembering those prayers. And, again, God, that constant reminder is that, God is true, God is faithful, and just that putting kind of our faith in that reminder of our faith that like God is with us. He's got this.
I honestly said that God is true, God is faithful. And I couldn't remember what your last part was. And so I kind of had put in like, God won't leave me.
Yes. God is good.
Because I was
God is true,
having
God
like
is
such a hard
faithful.
time. And it was like, I think it's fun to record and talk about previous times that you've been really in hard spot. And it's really hard to live out a challenging time and actively be reflecting on it. And also it's interesting to be like, what have I said on our podcast to other women to do in this scenario? Like, what have I encouraged? And like, then you have to do it too.
You have to do it.
Like if you're telling other people this is a way through the muck, this is your way through the muck.
Right.
And it's a totally different experience living a really hard moment right now.
Exactly. And like there were so many moments I feel like over the last 2 weeks, last couple of weeks, like you just said, that we've already talked about, and it's putting our words into action for ourselves. To be totally transparent, Jess and I have had total and utter meltdowns in the last couple of weeks.
Straight up mental breaks.
Total, absolute meltdowns. And, there was a couple of weeks ago where I literally was having an absolute fit. I think I text you that morning, just losing my mind. And I
called back.
She called, which again, being that friend, being that accountability partner, which I feel like is something that we need to talk about too, of having that person. But, you know, I was going for a run and just trying to get in the right headspace. And the week prior to was when I was really good.
Yes.
And you had your emotional moment here, like
Yes.
when we recorded. And so I was on my way down, and, you know, Jess brought up to me reminders of things that I had said, like, you know, you have this, you have your faith or whatever. And I was like, I'm really good at giving it. I'm not great at listening to my own words and putting it and looking through that lens.
Yeah.
And having basically putting I said this, I messed this up the last time. I think I said it too, is like putting my money.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Yes, putting my money where my mouth is and being like, no, I have my faith, that I can't, you know, that I'm not going to just let the devil come in and give me those terrible thoughts. And there's a book that we're going to probably do in season 2.
Oh, yeah.
That we're going to work through, which I love. I'm almost finished with it now, but it's just, the title of it is Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table. And it's a phenomenal book, and we're going to talk about that too. And so I was listening to that, and I was talking to Jess through that, and it just is like, you know, doubt those doubts and let God work. And that's why we have our faith too. So I totally agree of us, you know, like we said, like on that high of the episode where I can say, oh yeah, I've made it through this before and things are looking great. And then the following week I was not good.
No.
And then you cycled too. And
then I was fine. I felt like my positive outlook ran out. Like it was just, I got crushed with like 4 big things in one day. And I was like, I am done. Like this is too hard. And I am so exhausted. I'll probably start crying, being so strong through it all. Cause it was like, oh, I'm beating my head against a wall with this stuff, with work, and feeling like I was never going to figure this one thing out. And, you know, my husband's encouraging me, you're encouraging me. And I'm like, oh, okay, keep the faith. Like, you know, and then I got like, you know,
you got hit
again. And I was like, oh, I'm just so over it. And I realized one thing I reflected on was like, I have had I'm prideful. And last week was like one of the first times that I was like, I am breaking down and I don't need to be the person who's faking it right now. And so often in my life, I've faked it because I worry about other people worrying about me. I worry that my parents will worry about me. I don't want them to worry about me. I worry that I don't want anyone to, I don't know, like feel like they have to worry about me. And like last week when I hit my, I would like to say rock bottom. I really hope it was kind of a bottom for the season I'm in, was just like, I just need to let everyone know. Like I'm sick of carrying this on my own. And I'm sick of feeling like I have to fake it all the time. And like when I went through like my depression episode after I was postpartum and stuff with my first, I faked it through that whole thing. You know, my friends had no idea. My husband barely knew. He like, you know, I barely scratched the surface with like how I was actually feeling. My parents had no idea. And it's a lot to carry by yourself.
Absolutely. You're not supposed to live on that island by yourself.
Right. So that was one of the things last week that I was like, God, I'm putting my pride down. I'm going to be a wreck. And I am just going to let the people who love me know that I'm an absolute mess right now. And so I've dropped my, you know, I called my parents and just let loose crying. Like I was telling them, like, I don't think I've cried this much in years. It has been a long time since I felt this bad. And so that was cathartic. I, you know, the night before had broken down crying to Joe. And then I think,
which I was actually angry that I didn't find out about it until the next morning.
I like shut my phone off.
I know you did.
I like hid in bed. I almost went to bed without telling him because he already knew I was upset, and I had cried a little bit earlier in that night. And then I went back out to the couch and I was like, dude, and just sobbed. And then I think it was the next morning I called, you were like, what's wrong? Like, because I had texted you and Lauren had sent us like this nice saying on her wall.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, do I need that? So I called you and just had a meltdown.
When I picked up the phone and then it was silent and I could hear it immediately in your hello, I was like, okay, we are not good.
We're not good right now.
We're not good. That it immediately, we were already unwell.
Yes. It was not well within her.
It was not well within her. But I think back to, you know, like there's so many points where I applaud you because, like you said, you were open and honest. And I still think back to the line that you said a couple of weeks ago about, you know, building that community of that you don't allow your friends to show up for you if you are not vulnerable.
Yeah, you steal that ability.
Steal that ability and that opportunity from them. And, you know, thinking about, like I said, like if I hadn't called you, if you'd brushed off, you know, I honestly would have been really ticked at you.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Really ticked at you that you,
why did you think you have to do this alone?
Exactly. Like, that's why we're here. You know, when you put it in the group chat of like, what's just been going on and like, you know, knowing that people are caring about you and you don't have to do it alone.
I really, like when I say I really like threw my pride down and was like, screw this. Like I'm done pretending like I'm okay. Like I just had to say my parents, you, my husband, our friend group, I put it in there. My video chat friend group that I have, I sent them a message and I was just like, y'all, this is what's going on. And I am so frustrated. And you know what I got back to that was like, and I said to them, I was like, I'm just so thankful that I can at least have a spot where I can voice this and you guys can, you know, help me through it. And I really appreciate that. And that's what I got back was like, you know, you're not alone and I'm sorry that this is happening. So thankful that we're here for you and we're able to, even though we're not close by, we can be somebody to just vent to. Because it's not, there was literally like, I don't think anything that anyone could do to help in any of the scenarios. It was totally just support of like, what do we got to do next? Like, what's your next step? One foot in front of the other.
Break this
one
off
day
into
at a time.
Small pieces.
And I think that sometimes nobody died. Like nobody's health is in peril.
Right.
So I think sometimes, again, that's another reason my pride can sneak in because I can be like, well, this isn't like life or death, but it's something that's really important to me. And it's like really stuff that's just not going the way.
It's really hard. It's really frustrating. It's having to work through several aspects of what's going on in your life and how to manage it all. And again, I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
And I'm also grateful that, you know, that I could be there and be that phone call. And, there's so many things that I could say and do. And I was grateful that I could talk to you and that I could pray for you. And I'm like,
that was great. You're like, can I pray for you at the end of the call? And I was like, well, I'm going to start crying again. So thanks. Yes, I would love that.
You know, it's also crazy too. And I said this to one of our other friends, like, you know, 2 years ago, I would never have done that. Mm-hmm. To openly pray out loud for someone. Talk about out of my comfort zone. And that it just naturally anymore. I'm like, okay, can I pray for you? Not just like like not like I'll keep you in my prayers. Mm-hmm. No, let's like right now. Let's pray. I know you're saying like you're gonna make me cry again.
I know because I think it is powerful when someone says, "Can I pray for you?" Because you're like, yes, let's get that power of prayer going. But it also, you know, I think to a believer, it's just like, thank you so much for. Thinking so much of me and my problems that you would want to help me.
And that's exactly, you know, that's when I lost it last week on the episode of me crying. It was like, you know, that interceding on someone else's behalf in prayer, like that holds a lot of power and weight, and that someone is willing to do that. And so this actually isn't even what we were talking about today.
No, but I was like, I have to share it because I think it's so real life applicable that like, like I said, none of the problems I'm having right now are life or death.
Correct.
And I have a stable home. Yes. I still can afford groceries.
Right.
Like a lot of needs are being met. There's just these extra things that are allowed to be struggles.
Yes.
And you are allowed to have a good life, but have moments that you feel really overwhelmed and frustrated. And, I think it's in those times before I went to bed one of the nights, I was like, okay, I got to do some gratefulness journaling, because gratefulness and fear cannot coexist at the same time in your brain.
Amen.
And I kid you not, I wrote down 10 great things that happened during the day. And this was it was a Wednesday. Wednesday was my real crap day.
Yeah.
And that night, I journaled 10 things that still happened that were very good, that were blessings throughout this crap day. And I felt so much better after that. And that would be like, if I could give anyone advice, it is like, journal your gratefulness about what actually went well during your day. And I think that was something you had said to me, was like, this is just a couple parts. Like, there's still good happening around you.
Absolutely.
And if you aren't looking for it, it's really easy to get sucked into the negative.
Right. Because again, the devil really just that attack.
Oh, my self-talk. Do you remember what I
Yes.
said? I was saying to myself some mean stuff,
You
you
were
guys.
saying some terrible things
And
to
I
yourself.
knew it.
Yes.
I knew that was mean. And it was like, I knew that it wasn't true, but it still was like just default thoughts that from years and years ago just resurfaced in a moment of vulnerability of like, you suck, you're a loser, this isn't going to work. And it's like,
you're a failure. I'm like, no, you're not.
that's not how I think about myself anymore.
Right.
But like, when you feel vulnerable, that stuff sneaks right back in.
Exactly. It sneaks right in, and it's allowing the devil just to give him just that little bit of space, and what it can do to really distort your brain. And yeah, you said it great, of like, gratitude and fear can't live with each other. And fear, it's those doubts. It's all that questioning coming in. And I can't say anything because I've been in the exact same.
Yeah.
I'm not judging in the slightest. I'm sympathizing because I'm in the exact same boat that you were in as well too. So I totally understand.
I think that something else that crossed my mind a lot, and I'm glad this happened last week, and I'm kind of coming out of it so that I can reflect on it and not feel like so vulnerable towards it. But another thing I thought was like, Jess, you were doing a lot of good. You were sharing God with others. You are recording a podcast to talk about Jesus. Like,
Yes.
you're encouraging women to pray. You are actively asking new clients, do you have a faith practice?
Yes.
You're bringing that in. And what else do you expect?
You're going to get attacked.
But a spiritual attack.
Absolutely.
When you are putting your best foot forward to be the light of Jesus in this world. Like you have to expect the devil's going to try and get in there and tell you you're a loser and that you suck, to get you to try and stop what you're doing.
That's exactly right. Oh, I love that, because it's exactly true. It's so true. One of the girls one of the women I work with at church, we were talking about actually just yesterday at work. I have decided I'm going on a mission trip to Brazil in April of 2026, which that'll be a whole thing. Scares the bejesus out of me. We're not even going to unpack that suitcase. Because that's going to be a whole thing.
Kick that can down the road.
Yeah, we're going to take that one down. That's a 2026 problem. But, thinking of all of those things, and that is so true, is like, when we're feeling like crap and all of the doubt that we're having right now and all of these transitions that we're going through, and thinking of the good that we're doing, like, the evil one doesn't attack people who aren't trying to do good things. That he does not come after, and
the people that are already down and not feeling
exactly
connected.
The people who are who are doing God's work and trying to bring people to Jesus, like, he doesn't attack those people. So it's almost like it's a blessing that the devil is attacking you, because it means you're doing something against him. And that, I got a message from a friend of ours at church, and this is like, I am so,
spread the tears. It's fine.
We have gotten a multitude of messages, because this is what episode, I don't even know what episode we're on.
10.
10. So we've been doing this, 10, 12 weeks now.
Yeah.
I thought when we first started this venture, this wasn't being pessimistic, but I thought, okay, maybe we're going to have 10, 20 people consistently listening
Mm-hmm.
to us yammering on about whatever we're talking about, right? I truthfully am blown away by who this is touching. People that I thought may never have listened, friends of mine that are talking about God for the first time. We got a message from someone we go to church with over the weekend, and just those words of just like, I've needed this so much, and I don't think you guys understand, meaning like Jess and I understand of how much good this is really doing. And again, this is just devil talk of myself of like, who's going to want to listen to this, whatever. But I am so proud of what we are doing. And truthfully, it's to God's glory that we have the opportunity to do this, that this is being as successful as it is, that this is even happening. And if we've touched one person, then this has been worth it. And I love what this is doing. And I love that this is just creating a space that we can, and that we're talking about Jesus. And that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. And I think it's cool to share how he's working in a very normal life. I mean, I'm pretty basic. Let's be honest. I'm vanilla.
You're cute.
I'm a vanilla quinoa golden retriever. I don't know how I'm going to get on Survivor when I apply, but
That's
all that
gonna
to
be
say,
your superpower, though. That's gonna be it, though.
that's how I'll win.
That's how you're gonna win.
But I mean, all that to say, like we live like a very, very amazing life, and I love my life, but it's simple, and but God still works in the simple ways. And I think that's one thing that's cool to show, is that sometimes it feels like he does these big things, or you hear of miracles. There's cool stories that have come out of our church recently.
So amazing.
And
so amazing.
I love those. But, God is also showing up every single day in my life in different ways. And what's really hard for me, though, and I wish it wasn't so hard, was like the plan of like, where's this going?
We just listened to, so there are 2 songs right now that are like on repeat in my life right now because of that exact reason. Because I have no idea what the plan is and where it's going. And you just having to sit in it. And it's, okay, God, I had this thought on the way driving over here of just, I feel like the growth in just the last couple of years of like, honestly, putting my hands up. Okay, God, where am I going? And being okay with it, as compared to a lot of previous times, kicking and screaming and no, I'm not doing it, and flat out saying no. And now it's like, I don't know the plan, but here we go.
Yeah.
And just being calm and having a sense of peace of that, where in previous seasons just lose my absolute, like, again, kicking and screaming, all of those things. But the song that the 2 songs that I have right now that are on repeat is Plans by Brandon Lake and Who He Is by Jamie MacDonald. And there's a line in there, it's like the chorus is, I don't know what's ahead, but I know who He is. That alone, every single time I listen to that, I get goosebumps because it's true. And there's a line in there, it's like, He's the compass when I don't know what direction I'm going. And being content in that. And it's so true. And so not having the plan and knowing the plan, it's very unsettling.
Yeah, my song that I've been blaring, one of them is Trust in You by Lauren Daigle.
So
when
good.
you don't part the waters, I wish you would. When you don't move the mountains, or move the mountains, I wish you would. Part the waters, I wish I could walk through. Something like that. I'm just like, oh man, that hits. Like that hits because I have some barriers that I would love just for you to part those waters, but they're not being parted. And for whatever reason. But yeah, I really don't like not knowing the plan. And I think that's something that I'll continue to sit in for a while. But
Yeah.
And we've talked about giving over control, and I've given it
Yeah.
over. I said last week, like, Lord, I can't handle, this is all on you. Like,
Yeah,
this is you.
this is
do
you.
what you do with this, what you will. I'm going to keep working on my end.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying. But if like your will be done, and I hope that I'm not too hard-headed to understand what that will is whenever direction changes need to come. But
And that's I call them like level ups in Mario Karts when when we talk about like our faith, your faith progression. That's kind of like that you've achieved a new level, I would say, of like you've come to that point in your faith and your journey and your maturation in your faith to being like, okay, you take it.
yeah.
Which when that's talking about like an infant stage of Jesus following and like going through progression, having that fight and trying to take it back and things like that. But when you're getting to that maturation of like, okay, I'm uncomfortable, but I'm gonna give it to you because I don't know what else is going on, and that's okay. That's a level up for sure.
Yeah, we've talked about too in a previous episode about how when you're going through a really hard time is when you draw nearer to God, and that can be sometimes why he puts those hard times in your life. And check, like, never felt closer than last week when I was like, well, my way doesn't seem to be working.
So here you go.
So here you go. Like I said, things are progressing. I'm not at my bottom.
No, things are looking up.
Things are looking up.
Things are looking up. That being said, that is not what we came on
No,
to talk about.
One of the episodes we wanted to record is about some of our favorite life lessons that we've learned.
We don't have hours to talk about
no.
this because I could talk for hours on this.
One of my favorite life lessons is the experience I had that led me to know that nobody is coming to save me. And of course, God is always with me. So have I given the backstory of
You
this?
have not.
No one's coming. And that sounds a little pessimistic or negative, but Joe and I were on a trip in Europe years before we had kids. And one thing we wanted to do, we were in the Netherlands, and the Netherlands is a beautiful place with tulips and flowers everywhere. And so we were like, we're going to take a bike ride with these bikes that were at the Airbnb across, like, I don't know, whatever area we were at. And there was bike paths everywhere, and it was a safe ride. And so we had a plan to go bike to this, like, I think a restaurant or a brewery or something. And so,
not to interrupt you, but I feel like in my head, I'm envisioning like the Sound of Music, the hills are alive. That's what I'm envisioning because they're in the Netherlands, I think, when that.
maybe.
No,
yeah.
I don't know. Something. That's what I'm interstate. Or this. This is what I'm like seeing.
The flowers.
Our flowers. Like that's what I'm thinking. Like you're biking through right now.
Yeah, but they were colored flowers. It wasn't just all
It
white.
just wasn't white. So we have color.
beautiful.
So, sorry to interrupt you, but that's what I'm
No.
thinking about.
And it was beautiful. So we're biking. We get to, we're far from the Airbnb. I can't tell you exactly how far we biked. It was at least an hour bike to this brewery place. So we get there and it starts to rain. And I don't know if I didn't check the weather, if Joe didn't check the weather.
Knowing you guys, you honestly probably didn't care.
We were
Like
just
you guys
on
were
our
probably
own.
just living your lives. You knowing your
The plan for the
both of your
day was to go for a
personalities.
bike ride. So that's what we were doing with
And
our
Brian's
day.
don't quit.
Brian's don't quit. Another great life lesson. So we're like an hour away and it starts to rain, and not just like drizzle. It was like downpour. And in Europe, we didn't have cell service, but everywhere had Wi-Fi that you went. So we like hopped on the restaurant Wi-Fi, and it was like huge rain. Like it was not going to stop within an hour. And we were an hour away and we didn't know anybody. We had bikes that weren't ours that we had to get back. So like, what were we going to do?
And you also don't speak Dutch.
Right. We don't speak the language at all. I'm also terrible with directions. So like a lot of things are happening that we're like, well, we just got to go back. So we like finished our beer and looked at each other and we were like, well,
Let's go.
and we got on our bikes and we biked in the downpour for an hour, and it sucked. And it was
Sounds
like,
awful.
10 minutes in, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awful. I'm so annoyed. It's cold now because it's raining and I'm wet. And there's nothing, no one's coming to save me. That's honestly the words that went through my head was like, nobody is coming, Jess. You have to bike this bike. You have to pedal. You have to get back there. Your husband cannot do this for you. He's pedaling his bike. You don't know anybody here. You have to just suck it up and go. And I thought about it for an hour on that ride. And it was like a really great reflection time of just taking responsibility.
Absolutely.
And understanding like that you need discipline to get through some things. And it's not a
easy.
Punishment. It, if anything, that made me such a stronger person. And I have thought of that life lesson many times over the years. And it's always been something that's helped serve me and helped me persevere. Like I said, nobody like human is coming to save me.
Yeah.
But like in those times also knowing that like when I'm in my head and I'm like recognizing that like I have to do all of this, it's always God I'm talking to.
Yeah.
And he is always there. And he doesn't always fix things the way I want them to be fixed.
Right. Correct.
So so that's been one of my favorite life lessons.
Work with what God gave you.
Yes. And so for that, we figure as a scripture anchor for that is Philippians 2:12-13. Continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose. Kind of just that mindset of like, nobody's going to fix your life or your mindset or your habits except you. And God has a plan for you. And sometimes those hard times he is utilizing to transform you into the person that you need to be in order to carry out his plan.
And that you don't need rescuing when the rescuer lives inside of you. But he also doesn't, he's not waiting until you're perfect to work, because he'd be waiting forever for all of us. But you still got to do the work. You got to do the hard stuff.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And this is why I love running in the rain, which I think is...
I love running in the rain. Running in the rain is one thing. Bike riding in the rain, I would have been I would have thrown a temper tantrum in the Netherlands.
But now when we were training for the marathon earlier in the year and the weather was crap, it was like any day that I had time to go run, I was like, well, it's raining. All right, I just got to do it. And it's in those times where it's like nobody can run for you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, of something about the crappier the experience weather-wise, just like the more impactful it is for my life. And I just feel like I did that hard thing. Nobody else did that but me. And that's a really powerful thing for me to have going on, like as a self-talk in my head.
Fun fact, our marathon relay team, when we ran it in May, I was the only one who got rained on. But it rained almost all of my leg. And I was real wet. I was soaking wet through all of that. But
I would like to say, you kind of earned that one. You deserve it. So, Erin, the relay marathon, I was first, right?
Yeah, you were the first.
So I was first, and me and Angie got up bright and early to be at the start because she was second, and then our friends decided to sleep in and they didn't get there right on time.
It wasn't, no. So we were downtown in plenty of time. The street closures and parking and knowing what I know now, mind you, it had been a couple of years since I had ran the Pittsburgh relay. So like knowing where you catch the bus versus parking, if I had known we should have just parked.
It's surprising that your sister didn't look into all of this.
Describe being that she was
researching.
Yeah,
she told me where to park.
She did me dirty. Anyways, it took us like a half an hour extra just to find somewhere to park. And
long story short, they get there real late. I finish my leg. Erin calls
in
crying
hysterics
because she's like, I'm not going to make it to my start. I'm not going to be there for my leg I can't anchor it. I can't do it.
I can't do it.
I can't make it. So I'm like, well, I'll go get my car. I had a prime parking spot. Clutch. And I don't know the city at all.
Yeah.
Like you at least lived there at one point. So I drive around looking for you, which was hysterical because of the road closures. I'm like, where the frick am I supposed to go? And I find you finally.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I helped, but like I drove
did.
you.
You helped.
We followed a bus.
A bus.
So that you could get on the connecting relay bus to like
Yes.
get you to your spot.
Yes.
So she was there at the start time, but then I couldn't get back to the race.
To the finish.
because of the parking situation. And so I drove around for like a half an hour and I was like, I'm just going home. So I texted everyone. I was like, peace out. Enjoy the finish. I'm leaving. You were like, I'm so sorry.
I felt terrible.
You did feel really bad.
I still feel terrible. It was not talk about like not shining moments. At one point, I'm in downtown Pittsburgh. I am hysterically bawling. And if like anybody knows me, like I'm not a hysterical baller.
People are going to think we're unhinged for how much we say we cry.
I know. I am downtown bawling. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I don't know how I'm going to get this bus. The leg that's being run is like our friend Lydia is literally running her leg right now. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get
She's texting like, Lydia, could you start walking?
I need you to slow down because I thought I was going to miss her. Like I thought like where I needed to go was in like the other end of Pittsburgh. Like it was a whole thing. Jess saved the day. I was able to get to my spot, go to the bathroom. I think I was there maybe less than 5 minutes, and Lydia comes down the road.
And she had walked. She was like, okay, I'll slow down a bit.
So I learned a lot. Not my
Grace
best.
was given.
Grace was given. It was not my best. It was not my best effort.
Do you know what the most annoying part about that whole thing was, though? What? I was doing Invisalign at the time.
Yeah.
And I had taken my Invisalign out because I rewarded myself after my leg with a Starbucks because they wouldn't let me go to the finish line and get a banana. They were like, you can't walk that way. And I was like, I really need like some sugar.
I just need some, yeah.
And they're like, no. So I was like, well, there's a Starbucks here, so I'll go there. So I take it out because you can't drink coffee with your Invisalign retainers in, and put it in my little running pack. And then we did our whole thing, and I'm like parked on the side of the road getting ready once I was finally like gave up to just go home, and I could only find my top retainer. And if you don't know Invisalign, you change it every 2 weeks.
Right.
And if you lose one, it can set you back like a month because you put the previous one in, they have to make you a new one. It's like very detailed. So I was livid. I was so mad. I was like, I shouldn't have gotten a Starbucks. Like I probably dropped it on the streets of Pittsburgh and I didn't even know it. So that put me actually in like a super bad mood.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. That was what really pushed me over the edge. I was like, I'm so annoyed right now. So I go home. My mother-in-law's watching the kids. Joe had to go, I think, to work.
He had a trip. He
had to fly out.
Yeah.
So I get home and I tell her like, it was fine. Yeah, it was fine. My time was good, but like I lost my retainer and I can't freaking find it. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. So I get ready. I'm like, I'm going to check my car one more time. Mm-hmm. And she was like, kids, let's say a prayer that mommy will find her retainer. Mm-hmm. My mother-in-law's very, very faithful woman, prays a lot. And I was like, I'm sure. I'm in. Let's go. So the kids and I and my mother-in-law like say a little prayer that mommy's going to find her retainer. And I go in and I, for some reason, was prompted just reach really far back in this one spot under your passenger seat, like way far up there. No reason that I should have thought to reach up there.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, that's where it was.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And I attribute, as trivial as it might sound, I really attribute that to like being prompted to just keep reaching a little bit further than what you would ever think. Like it was tucked up under, I think it was in like where you get air that comes out under your feet of the front seat of the car, and there it was. So that really bolstered my mood the rest of the day. So I didn't lose my retainer and I didn't get set back.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not. Well, I'm glad
it's
you
very
found
random.
It is.
Okay, squirrel. So your turn.
Okay. If my life lesson, and this goes out to honestly to anybody, but for people who are a bold personality. We're not even gonna say bold personality. So one of my biggest things I've learned is don't dull your shine. So if you haven't gathered by this time, I'm red dye 40 apparently. I'm a big personality. I would say I've really hit my stride in this venture of my personality in probably the last 8 to 10 years ish. But I've always been, you could probably ask my mom, my family. I've always really probably been a lot. But growing up, I think in the era in which we grew up, specifically for women, for girls during that time, was you don't make anybody uncomfortable. You don't, I want to say, buck the system. You don't, like, if there's an opinion given, you don't give an alternative one. It was very, like, dull yourself, basically. Like, you know, being that you didn't want to make somebody, don't let your personality, you know, overshadow what could potentially be other insecurities. Like, and so there are multiple moments in my life where I felt I had to dull myself, whether it being like when in high school, there were certain personalities and things trying to, you know, you're too much, you're too whatever, you need to calm yourself down. In college, same thing. My first couple of jobs, like, oh, you're too bold, you're too loud. You know, I worked for someone who was a very incredibly insecure person. And those insecurities, she then she was very attacking to those people who potentially who spoke, say, against potentially her opinions, or someone who was a personality, or like, no, I don't agree with that, or like somebody who challenged her. She was very like, don't do that. And so that caused, I would say that's truthfully, like, I don't feel like I ever had anxiety in my life prior to that. And I truly think I have, like, from that job and dealing with that director, I, like, honestly, I developed anxiety because I am an outspoken person. If I don't agree with something, I'm going to tell you my opinion on it. Does that burn me sometimes? Sure. But, like, I'm a big, bold personality. And so I felt I had to really dim myself. And it was the job that I got after that. Again, praise God for that opportunity. The director I had at that job, she was a force, but she was also just she was a big personality too. And she really showed me that it's okay to have an opinion. It's okay to what are your thoughts? What are your opinions, like, on things?
Your
yes,
ideas.
very much welcoming my ideas and welcoming my light, my shine. And that really, like, helped in that, you know, that confidence. And so I don't ever believe, like, there's not, like, too much. It's just like, it's how God made you, and that's how God made me. And owning that, and just not letting that light dim. Especially if that is a light, you know, for Jesus. And so, like, the Bible verse that we're kind of, like, anchoring to for that is Matthew 5:14-16, which this goes back to. This is in the Sermon on the Mount, which we talked about, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I can't remember. But you are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So when you shrink yourself, when you make yourself small, you hide your gifts. And that, I don't want anyone ever to hide that. And it's like, you've been given, like, you've been given gifts. I've been given gifts. You've been given different gifts, and that's okay. But, like, don't hide them and embrace that. And like I said, I'm red dye 40, and it's one of those, like, I'm a vibe. I know that.
I'm a vibe. No,
I'm
I
a
think
vibe.
the flip side of that is somebody who I don't feel like I'm the loud person. I certainly, like, have opinions and share them and stuff.
Sure.
But, like,
you're not red dye 40.
I'm not red dye 40. I feel like the flip side of that is, like, letting your friends shine that way and not trying to be like, hey, we're something, like, be quiet. Like, you know, just letting them be who they are. Even if as a quiet person, it might be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're saying that right now. Like, just letting that be.
Yes.
Yes. Because I think that's sometimes hard for us quieter, maybe the introverts. I'm like that. I'm that in between.
You're the line. You're,
I'm the
you're
the middle.
in-between.
Can't make up my mind what I am.
You're the in between.
Yeah. I mean, I really love that because I have seen, I think a lot of my friends who are like more outspoken as they've gotten older, they've become more comfortable
Yeah.
in that.
Yep.
And so I don't know if maybe age and experience is a part of it, but I love sharing that, like, that's a life lesson you learned. And it's like,
Absolutely.
you almost wish you could have learned it a little bit sooner when you were with that person who
I do.
really sucked.
I do, because like oh gosh, now like knowing myself now versus when I encountered that person and worked for that person I worked there for 6 years.
It's a long time to
it's
subject yourself to that.
Correct. There are moments, I mean, it's crazy. I have dreams about going to back to work with this person.
It's like a nightmare.
And flat out telling her where to go.
Oh, fun.
And having that boldness that obviously I would never have done then, but like me being me now and that person, like just really embracing that and being like, nope, this is me. Like I said, I'm a vibe. I know that, accepting that. And I accept that I'm not everyone's vibe.
Right.
And that's okay. And you don't have to be everyone's vibe. But like in our circle of friends, understanding that we're all different personality types. And I love and respect those introverts that we have. And like, can we pull some, my extreme extrovertism and all of those things, can we pull some, but there's so much we can learn from that. But like, just don't dull that. But like, there's conversations I have in my head like, oh, I wish I could encounter this person again to be like, listen, Toots,
Right.
there are things that I would love to tell you about yourself because you are just an insecure little thing, and I just would love.
You made me miserable for years.
You made me miserable for years. Years, and I'm grateful that I got out of it.
Do you think people like that know that they're that way?
No, I think they're such a narcissistic, only think about themselves anyways, that I don't think they even it like doesn't grasp. Even no. These are the people, like, this is the a true narcissist. A true narcissist, and it's also the person that like to have to pray for that person, because we're like, obviously we're called to pray for our enemies. It's like,
it's not an easy one.
It's not an easy one. It's not an easy one. But yeah, there's moments I'm like, oh, I wish I could go back in and encounter that person again. Like, oh.
Yeah. Would you really say something?
Oh,
yeah?
100%.
Oh,
100%. But it would be like it would be the pettiness of just like, oh,
I'm only petty on the inside. You're petty on the outside.
I'm petty on the outside. Like me, like, you know, when I asked you, like, if you forwarded your acceptance to Brenda, like, that would be like, oh, you said I wasn't ever going to amount to anything. Well, here I am. Here's all of the things that I have done. And, oh, you're still miserable. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. But yeah, so walk boldly, shine brightly.
Be who you are.
Be who you are. That's who God made you for.
Yeah. I think
God made you to be.
Yeah, being confident in who you were made to be.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's a good thing. And I think it does take growth to get there. And unfortunately, I think it takes those experiences of realizing like, wow, I don't deserve to have to live life like this. You know, I deserve better.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have to like, I hate life lessons because you know what? You have to like go through something hard to learn them.
Absolutely. And to make you better.
Yeah.
Big time.
Can't wait to see what my life lesson after
this
all of this crud the past week. I can't wait to reflect on this later.
Yes.
Whenever stuff is all settled out.
Yes. But. Exactly.
All right. Tell me something good.
Tell me something good. My tell me something good for this one is I have a job.
Yay! Erin got a job.
I have a job
in a new profession or
avenue
related, but not a PT.
Correct.
Position.
Not directly PT. It's applying that experience and knowledge and into a new avenue, and it's going to be a transition. It's going to be, but I am again sitting in that piece that I don't know the plan. And that's okay. This company is excited to have me. I'm excited to have them. And we're going to see how it goes, but it's great. It's a blessing. It's a job, full-time job. So lots of prayers answered. And yeah, so it's exciting times.
Yes. And we're going to remember the prayers that we had prayed when it's hard.
Exactly. Jess, tell me something good.
Well, it's funny you say that. So yesterday I actually had a busy day with work.
Yes. I actually texted you at one point because I was worried about you.
Yeah, you were like, are you live? You didn't respond back.
You're right.
So I actually had a busy day, which was really great. I get to Taekwondo. Joe took both the kids and I went after our call was done to pick up our son and bring him home, and he was going to stay with our daughter. And I sit down. I sit down. I'm exhausted. Like my brain has just been running all day.
It's a lot.
And I'm still thinking through scenarios. Like, it hasn't stopped. And he looks at me and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I looked at him and I went, "I'm good."
Yeah.
And he was like, "You were about to say you were tired, weren't you?" And I was like, I was about to. And then I remembered how much I have prayed to be busy. And so I'm not going to complain.
No.
But I was exhausted.
Yeah.
And my brain was very tired.
Yes.
So I thought of you because I was like, oh man, Erin's going to be living this soon.
Yes.
So we're going to need to be there for her.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time we recorded?
It was the beginning of October, I believe.
I actually know it. I know what day it was. Hold on. Do you remember why I know what day it is?
Oh, yes. Now I do. I do.
Same thing happened right now. It was a month ago. So it was the 7th. So the something good that happened was we had my daughter's 5th birthday party, and she turned 5, and we got to celebrate her, and it was just really cute.
She's just the sweetest little
She is she's a joyful little girl, and she could have gotten just handmade cards with no presents and she would have been stoked. Like, she made a big deal about every little thing she opened, and I love that about her. I love how her joy for life, and it was really nice to be able to celebrate her.
That's great.
Yes.
No, she's wonderful. Oh, would you like to pray, or would you like to
I would like to close us in prayer this time.
Absolutely. No problem.
Lord, thank you for the woman listening to this podcast. I pray that something that she heard today resonates with her and can help her feel seen or heard, or at least less alone in struggles. I pray that our vulnerability of being able to share our hard stuff is fruitful in somebody's life, that they may feel less alone during their hard times as well. I pray that if anyone finds themselves in a difficult situation, a difficult time, no matter what that looks like, that they turn to you and praise you, remember all the great things that you have blessed them with in life, while also knowing it's okay to turn to you when they are having a really hard time. Lord, I thank you for being with Erin and I through our hard seasons, and I thank you for the plans that are perhaps starting to be laid out in front of us, and I just pray that we continue to shine your light and express gratitude towards all of the blessings you've given us. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.